Good morning. How are you? Um, it's Wednesday. I think today's let's see, the days are just rolling into one. Today's the 15th. Oh my God. Today's tax day for you guys that don't remember. Today is officially tax day because they had moved it because of whatever it is that they moved it for. So yeah, they moved the tax date from April 15th to July 15th. Thank God, because a lot of us had actually, I mean, it was crazy. We've been indoors for quite a while. So while we're waiting for people to join us, forgive me, I am going to just chill for a second, and then hopefully we can have everybody else join us. Okay? Anyways, I thought I normally have so much to say. But the past few days, I've just been really, really quiet. Priorities have kind of changed a lot with this coronavirus pandemic thing going around. So I've been a bit, I think introspective is the word to use. I've had to really go inside me and figure out what is important and what's not important. My wife and I have lost a few friends, and some are people that we know, and a lot of people we know got ill, and a lot of them got better, thank God. Unfortunately, it's not the ones that got better that keeps you up at night. It's the ones that are really, really ill, and it's the ones that move on. Die is the word. Don't be afraid to use the word die emoji. Come on now. So yeah, it's the ones that die that really have us all looking at our lives all over again, because, a lot of times we don't even, I mean, it's not that we don't know that life is short. We do know, but sometimes, I think maybe we forget. I know I forget, or maybe I just don't want to think about it because I am up there in age. I'm 55, and a 58-year-old friend died last week Friday. So anyways, you guys, let's have this real conversation, because some people are not taking this thing seriously. For those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Mojisola Wilson, and this show is Authentic Conversations with Moji. Hang in there for a second for me. I'll be right back. Hey, it's Moji again. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're on here, say hello. We need to share more love. Let's share some love. Let's say hello to each other. This is not a formal conversation. This is just a conversation so we can chat about coronavirus and things like that. And where do we go? Are we sending our children to school? Because America wants us to send all the kids back to school, but thank God they gave some of us the option to have our children go online and study online. So just bear with me 1 second real quick. There we go. Yeah. So if you're on here, I know it's not a lot of people that watch the show, so just say hello, how are you? So I know you're there and I'm not talking to myself. So anyways, so I thought to talk today about the pandemic and the effects of the pandemic. Most of us already now know, I hope, that this is real. It's not a joke. It's not a hoax. There's no conspiracy theory. It is what it is. The virus is out there. No, but most people don't know which way it's going or how it's going to affect people. But one thing we are very sure of is the fact that it affects 33% of the population of the people that get coronavirus. It affects 33% of the people that have caught the virus so far are Black people. 33% of the people that have died are Black people. Black men are allegedly more at risk. And I have to say allegedly because I don't have any data to back it up. But from what all the doctors are saying, from what the news reports, CNN, MSNBC, everybody's saying, is that Black people are more at risk to contract coronavirus than white people, which is kind of scary to me. But it's not just black people in general, it's really black men. And I went online to my best friend Google, and I asked the question, why is it black men? And it turns out that a lot of black men have diabetes, and they have all kinds of illnesses, kidney illnesses, and all kinds of illnesses. And half the time, because they don't go to the doctors as often as black women, they don't even know that their immune system is compromised. So for somebody like me that has a child that's got asthma, a male child that's got asthma, it's quite nerve-wracking. If you ask me, it's very nerve-wracking for me to think that they'll be going back to school and mingling with everybody. And at home, our son has been home for God knows since February 14th when he came back from boarding school, and he hasn't gone outside really, except for the grocery store when I'm there. So I'm afraid that when he goes back to school, they'll think things are back to normal. I was on CNN this morning, and I saw a story about a family who have teenage and grown adult children living with them, and the father is in ICU, intubated, because one of their sons went to a party and brought it home. So everybody in the house now has coronavirus. And the son that brought it home is asymptomatic, which means that he has no symptoms. But the 14-year-old that has not been out of the house in, like, God knows, they said almost 3 months, is actually, it's really sad. The 14-year-old that has not been outside the house for almost 3 months is the one that's actually ill. One of the reasons why I'm having this conversation is that it's important that people understand that when they tell you to put on a mask, it's really not for you. It's to keep other people safe. So if you don't want to wear a mask for yourself, it's fine. Wear a mask for somebody else. And it's not even just them. You don't have to pay for a mask. A lot of people say they can't afford it. You don't have to pay for a mask. Get a scarf, get your winter scarf and put it around your face, so that when you're speaking, you're not spitting on people and you're not breathing on people. Because all of a sudden, actually, in the past 3 or 4 weeks, Sarah Grady, hello, you're a nurse. So I'm glad you're on the show. In the past 2 or 3 weeks, now they've come up with this thing that it's airborne. So you have people like me that refuse to get on a plane, because if it's airborne, I'm not traveling on a plane. I'm not saying people should not. I'm personally just not doing it, because at the end of the day, my life is very valuable to me. And, and a lot of people are out there saying they're not putting on a mask because it's against their human rights, because of whatever it is, whatever reasons. Look at this. My friend has tested positive twice and was oh, wow. That's scary, because let me tell you, one of the things that scares me the most is that a lot of people don't look sick. It's not like a disease that you can see that people are sick. They're not running fevers. There's nothing. Sarah Grady says her friend tested positive twice. And, there was another case of a nurse that tested negative, but actually went into the hospital and is now in ICU. And then later on, she tested positive. So this virus we have no idea what's going on with this virus. Sarah Grady, if you want to come in, I'm going to inbox you with the invite to come in, because I think it's important that people understand that this is not a joke. This thing is not a joke. I personally have to tell you that this thing is not a joke. I saw our pastor in church actually passed away a few days ago. And funny thing is, my wife had gone to church to give her sermon, which is absolutely fabulous, by the way. And we thought everything was great, and we didn't know anything was wrong. And it's really sad, because at the end of the day, the lady passed away. It was really fast. And we didn't know, we had no idea that was going to happen. So for a lot of us that are sitting out here thinking, a lot of people that are sitting out here thinking this thing is not real. She went into the hospital on Wednesday. Reverend Vicky died on Friday. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. This is somebody that I really respect. This is my spiritual mentor. This is a person that I mean meant a lot to a lot of people. And I bet she didn't think she was going to pass away either, because at the end of the day, a lot of us put off a lot of things that we want to do. And because we're not really ill, or we're not ill in that moment, we think that everything is going to be okay. So one of the things I'm asking people to do, please, is remember, this is not about you. This is about the people that are around you that have compromised immune systems. This is about the young boys and girls and young people out there that don't really have any, they don't have an idea of what will happen when they go out hanging out with people at bars and things like that. This is about a lot of Americans. We know we all have rights, right? Everybody understands that we have rights. Nobody's trying to infringe on your right not to wear a mask. All I'm asking is, do me a favor, for my sake and the sake of my family and every other family out there. Please be careful. Don't go out if you don't need to. And if you're going to send your children to school, make sure you give them a mask. Make sure you start training them now. Don't wait for the teachers to have to enforce the mask wearing and such like that. If you're one of those people that plan to send your children back to school this year, we're not, because it's just not worth it to risk it, so that the kid, because I was talking to somebody and she's like, oh, you're so paranoid. Sarah, I sent you an invite if you want to come in and just sit with me on the show. It'll be really nice. My spirit's still heavy. This thing hit home. It hit home. This thing hit home. This is not a joke. This thing hit home. Reverend Vicky is one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. She's so transparent. It's crazy. She speaks her mind, but she speaks it with love. For us that are LGBTQ, that are gay and such, MCC was like, finally, after 15 years of going from church to church, I taught in Sunday school for 5 years. I was in that particular church for 15 years. And when I came out of the closet, it was like I was shunned, like I had leprosy. And this is the first church. Even when I went to the gay church, there was so much politics and all that stuff going on. You know how church can be. This was the first time I felt comfortable in a church, because Reverend Vicky was there. And I'm telling you, it's not easy. It's not easy to see somebody my wife and I spoke to her on Monday. And Wednesday she went into the hospital, and boom, Friday morning, 7:30 in the morning, she was gone. So if people think this is a joke, it's really not a joke. It's not a conspiracy theory. There's nothing about coronavirus that's a conspiracy theory. And, thank you. Like Sarah Grady said, we all have rights, but just as you're required to wear shoes and shirts, when in business, wear a mask. Just please wear a mask. I don't care what kind of a mask you do. I don't care when. You can take a scarf and just wrap it around your face when you go out. Again, the mask is not to protect you per se from you, because if you have it, you have it. But the mask is to protect the people that you come in contact with. Stay 6 feet apart, they said. Just please follow the guidelines. It's very important. And there's a lot of people that tell me that they cannot afford to stay home. I understand. There's a lot of people that I'm a realtor. I am a real estate broker. I'm supposed to be out there running around, but I cannot put my son's life in jeopardy, our son's life in jeopardy, because of money. Because if I go out and I don't get sick, because my immune system is not compromised, or because I don't have asthma, and I bring it home, he could potentially die. So I choose to do all my work from home and have other agents show the houses and all that until we figure out where we're going. Believe me, there's a lot of people that need the money. There's a lot of people that have to go to work. All I'm asking of you guys is to love yourself enough to think what would happen if you got this virus and took it to your home, and one of your loved ones passed away. All it takes is a fraction of a second. Believe me, I've been doing research on this thing since it started. I've spoken to quite a number of doctors. I've spoken to quite a number of nurses. A lot of medical people are dying as well, which is one of the most heart-wrenching things for me, because nurses and doctors are putting their lives at stake for us every day. Every day they go to work, the possibility of one of them catching it is always there. I saw a Nigerian doctor today on I think IG, Instagram, who has been in a coma since March. In a coma since March. So all these doctors are putting their lives at risk for us. I think it's only fair that we do something for them as well and help them to help us. Because if they fall sick, then there's nobody to treat us. As of right now in Houston, Texas, there's no beds, no hospital beds anywhere. People are being held in, God knows, in the hallways of hospitals all over the place. People are all everywhere, all over with coronavirus. And if you remember, Houston was one of the places that had the lowest numbers. And because people just went La Viva Loca and started going to the beaches and started going to the bars and started going to restaurants and things like that. Restaurants are open. Order the food and take it home. It's important that we keep a lot of these businesses in, good standing. We need to keep them open. I get it. But we don't need to go in there and sit there. We can do takeouts. We can order takeouts to support the businesses. We can, there's so much we can do. Even when you go to like Lowe's, I do contracting and stuff. When I wanted something from Lowe's, I called them and I ordered the stuff and I picked it up at the door so that I wouldn't have to go inside the store. For most women like shopping in like jewelry stores and all that stuff. Aside of shoes, Home Depot and Lowe's, that's where Moji gets her high. That's where I get really, really excited because that's my passion. I love working with my hands. So I needed some material and I called and they allowed me to pick it up at the door. There's so much we can do differently to help us to stay healthy, to help us to stay alive. And by the way, you have to also understand that the economy has been impacted. Every time somebody gets sick, the hospitals either eat the bill, the insurance bills are going to go up. Everything is going to go up if we're not able to get rid of this virus and get rid of it, at least curb it. I don't see it totally going away for almost a year, according to statistics, according to all the information I've been reading. People are saying that it might take a year before they come up with a plan. So then what do you and I do? Coronavirus got us all to stay home. We got to stay home. We got to face our own demons. We got to some of us went to school. Some of us didn't go to school. Some of us are just sitting around, thinking about being introspective. And some of us are using it to do the things that we've always wanted to do. But going forward, it's time to sit down and ask ourselves, where do we see ourselves in 5 years? What if there's no 5 years? Let's start with that. What if there's no 5 years and you died today? Reverend Vicky opened my eyes to a lot of things. She used to, when I get upset at people on social media, she'll call me and say, hey, do everything with love. Even if they're coming at you, just show them love, because ask yourself, what would Jesus Christ do? And I know a lot of you guys are not Christians. I'm not a Christian either, but I believe in God and I believe in Jesus. So my whole thing for the past 10 years has been to walk in the steps of Jesus Christ, not be Jesus Christ, because I'm human and I have my own scoring. But seriously, what would God do? What would Jesus do? Not God, but what would Jesus do? She would tell me, do things with love. I think it's time that we start to preach love. We start to preach love. We start to tell the people that we love them. We start to show appreciation for people that we care about. Because tomorrow is really not guaranteed if you think about it. And if you know that tomorrow is not guaranteed, if you died today, I'm going to ask everybody that question. If you died today, are you okay with dying today? Did you tell your friend that you care about them? Did you tell your husband that you love him? Did you tell your wife that you love her? And if you're gay, did you tell your partner, your soulmate, did you tell them that you love them today? Or are you still holding on to the grudge because they slept on the wrong side of the bed or they pulled too much blanket away from you? Are you still holding grudges? See, these are the times that we cannot afford to do that. I'm not saying you should stay in bad relationships, or that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you should stay in an abusive relationship, because sometimes people think when people are talking about building a good rapport with somebody. You can only build a good relationship with somebody that wants to build one with you. You can't be in a relationship by yourself. So I think it's time that we start to look at this whole era, because look, the universe is asking us for change. The portals are way open out there. The portals are open. All kinds of stuff, energies are out there. Remember I used to do my meditation series, which I meditate every day about 5 o'clock in the morning. I used to do it also on Facebook, and 500-600 people would join me. But the energy I was receiving back wasn't positive. So I pulled back and I stopped doing it for a while. But I still think people should meditate. I think people should go out there and meditate. You can Google or you can go on YouTube and get meditation videos and tapes, and once in a while I'll come on and do it again. But even if it's 10 minutes in the morning, that you can just bring all your chakras and try and get them aligned and try and hear God. Because one of the biggest problems, I think, in the universe is that we're so busy running around. We don't stop to hear God. God is speaking to all of us at this moment. God is trying to tell us something. I'm telling you, if you listen to the universe, you can never go wrong. People might think you're crazy. People will absolutely believe you're crazy, because everybody is not going to hear what you hear. Everybody is not going to see what you see. Everybody is not going to be able to receive the message from the universe the same way as you. But we need time to sit down quietly so that we can hear the universe speak, so that we can understand what the universe is requiring of us. Because let me tell you, when we don't sit still, I can tell you from experience, I'm guilty of that. I am so used to running around so much that this pandemic has made me sit down. This social distancing made me actually find myself. And I'll break it down what I mean by find myself, because I'm one of those people that's very busy. I mean, I'm busy. Yeah, always busy. I'm always doing 10,000 things at the same time. And one of the things that I realized is that, see, when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s in the United States, it was really cool to multitask. Remember that, Lisa? It was really cool. You had to be able to multitask. You have to be able to be on the phone and you're typing at the same time and you're doing this and you're doing that. And people were applauded. Multitasking. But a lot of us that are in my age group, all of a sudden we're finding ourselves like, oh my God, we have to stand still. We have to sit still. I'm so used to helping people run around and help people take care of their problems that, oh my God, I don't have time to listen or sort my own problems out or do the things that matter to me, for that matter. And then about 5 years ago, I decided it was time to start doing that. But it became, it's like a crackhead. I'm used to running around. All of a sudden, I'm telling myself, you need to do less. You need to start saying no to people so you can have more time for yourself. Honey, it was hard because I'm addicted to helping people. I'm addicted, even though I don't talk about it on social media, I'm addicted to helping people. So instead of, while helping people, 2018, I decided if I like helping people so much, then get the qualifications. So I went to school to become a certified life coach in preparation for 2020, not knowing that. Then 2020 comes, boom, I got blindsided, like everybody in the universe. Coronavirus came and whoop, we had to stay indoors. So there's no more running here for that person, running here for that person, running here. So I spend a lot more time on planned events. My Zoom meetings are planned. My Zoom showings are planned. My Zoom meetings with my buyers, my real estate buyers all over the world are planned now. So it's not like, it's not like before that we can dart here, run. We have to start to understand that if we don't listen to the messages of the universe, we can't get back to what we call normal. And God forbid, I don't want the past, what was normal in the past. I want to do everything totally differently from now on. Because if we do everything the same as before, because I hear people saying, oh, I can't wait for things to go back to normal. God forbid, fire in the well. If I had salt, I'll throw it over my shoulder for the witches to go away. Because going back to the past is no longer acceptable. we have to start to do things differently. We have to start doing things with love. We have to, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So if I'm saying, oh, tomorrow I'm going to call my friend that I hurt last week and apologize, what if she dies or I die? A lot of you guys will notice, a lot of you Facebook friends anyways will notice that I've been texting people. I've been inboxing to check on people a lot more. I've been doing that for the past month, and for me, that's what the universe requires of me. I don't know what the universe requires of you. If you've been watching my shows are a lot more on point. My shows are a lot more direct, as in, there's no pandering. My name is not Willy Wonka. My name is Moji. I cannot sugarcoat anything for anybody anymore, because what I'm finding is that a lot of people don't like the truth. And it's okay not to like the truth. You don't have to sit here and listen to this show. Go someplace else where they can give you gossip, where they can give you all kinds of jabberjanties. Now, I'm not doing that. I have to start to live a purposeful life. We're not all going to live a purposeful life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the universe is sending us messages, folks. The universe is telling us that it's time to change. The universe is saying that it's time to change. It's time to change. It's time to be loving, first to yourself and then to others. You can't give what you don't have. So if you don't love you, you can't love others. And since I started to practice love, my life has changed. Before, somebody would come at me and abuse me because I'm gay. Now I call them on the phone and say, hey, this is Moji, and I talk things. I can't change the ocean. I can't boil the ocean, like my wife once told me. Margaret once told me, she goes, you're running around trying to save the world. You can't boil the ocean, but you can boil the ocean one cup at a time. So when people come at me with negative energy, I call them. Half the time, what's funny, and I record it too. I'll never play it, unless they give me permission. But I record their messages. I mean, the conversations with people. When they come at me real hard and pow, pow, pow. In the past, I would just shred them on social media. Now I call them. I call people on Facebook after they've abused me and they've called me this, they've called me an abomination, because I realize that a lot of the people that do that are in pain. Take it from me, they are. So what I've been doing is I've been picking up the phone and calling people, because my new thing is, before I do something, I ask, what would Jesus Christ do? And yes, Jesus Christ got upset. Don't let them fool you that Jesus Christ was a saint. Yes, he was a nice guy, but he was a funkiest guy. I mean, who stands there and looks at a woman by the well and says, I always use the lady by the well, and says, I give me some water, and the lady by the well says, me? Why did they ask me for water? Why are you asking me for water? You want water from me? And he's like, yeah, I know who you are. Maybe you're the one with all those men and husbands. The guy's cool as hell. And it's like, she's like, yeah. And she's like, the guy I'm even with now is not my husband. It's like, yeah, I know, but it's okay. Come, chill with me. Chill with me. And they became, they sat there and they chatted and all that. And that was Jesus Christ. And yet we human, we turn up our nose at people. The very people I think we're supposed to be teaching, or that's supposed to teach us lessons, we turn up our nose at them. There was a young man that abused me. I think he didn't really abuse me. He was just rude, very rude, anti-Agbaya and all that stuff. And a couple of years ago, and I was very upset with him. But there was a lesson that I was supposed to learn from him, and I didn't learn that lesson. So I kept taking the same classes over with the same Twitter generation, and they will abuse me and curse me after I've helped them and all that. And then, one day I'm sitting around and the thing just hit me. I'm like, wait. I keep doing the same thing over and over and over the same way, and I keep getting upset at these people. How about I look at myself? See, when you point fingers at other people, you never really learn, do you? You don't learn anything. You really don't. Because what happens is that you get into that victim mentality, which I was in the whole of 2019. I was like, oh, dear God, why me? Never asking, what is it I'm supposed to learn? And the day I opened my heart and I sat quietly while meditating for courage and peace, I just heard it. And I was like, whoa, that's kind of cool. That's as real as it gets. And I heard it. And what I heard was, Those young men were brought into my life for me to teach them, yeah. But see, a smart teacher also knows that they're the student. I repeat, a smart teacher also knows that they are a student. That's what I heard. And my whole boom changed. So one of the young men called me this year and he apologized to me. And I said, look, I actually thanked him. I have no shame. I don't. I actually thanked him. I said, thank you so much for allowing yourself to be used by the universe to teach me a lesson. And I bet he didn't understand where I was coming from. I bet he didn't understand what I meant by it. But the truth is, there's a lot of people that the universe wants, God, Allah, Buddha, whatever it is to you, I call God the universe, wants to use, but they don't allow themselves to be used, right? To teach or love or whatever it is that, we're all like puzzles. That's what I believe. If you take a big puzzle with like 200 units in there and one gets missing, you do know you won't be able to finish the puzzle, right? So we're all very important. We're all very important in this world. It doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're poor, whatever, we're all going to die anyways. So while you're on earth, my new motto is, while I'm on earth, I don't know about what yours is, but what coronavirus has taught me, after coronavirus leveled everything, I mean, the people in Nigeria that have money and they got ill and they couldn't leave the country. Oh my God. People are dying, senators and governors, the right-hand man of the president of Nigeria croaked. People are dying. The ex-governor who sent a private plane out of Nigeria to go to Indonesia to buy him medication, and they brought back fake medication. Many Nigerians, poor Nigerians, have been dying for many years, right? Because of fake medications that's allowed to bring it, for the government allows to be brought into the country. Bad hospitals in Nigeria, no ventilators, no PPE. I was shouting for about a month about the PPE that Jack Ma donated, that the NCDC and the Nigerian health, whatever, claimed they don't know anything about. And the little bit that they had, they actually gave it to some chick on IG. A chick on IG was selling them, still is selling the PPEs, while Nigerian nurses are dying. But when all these big government officials got COVID, sad. A lot of them died. Karma. See, these times we have to start asking ourselves, what is it that we want from the universe? What it is that we want from life? For me, I know without a shadow of a doubt, I know that calibration, write those words down and Google them if you want to. Calibration, manifestation, yeah? Calibration, manifestation. Very important. Putting what you want out there. I'm a student of the law of attraction. Whatever you want, you can get. Not right away, not all at the same time. There's nothing. I mean, I just rolled out my accessory company called Shuku yesterday. We make ties, or I make all this stuff. I make ties, I make handbags, I'm making jewelry. I've always made jewelry, and I started to make handbags and bow ties and surgical caps and all that stuff. And I'm doing it. But I had done this, I did this, or something like it, in 1980, Boboro, 1989, 90, before I started to have kids. And then I had kids and I just let it go and went into real estate, which has been amazing. But you know how it is that you get to a point in your life that your passions, your business to make money is different from your passion. And this time around, because of COVID-19 and being locked in the house, I was able to actually give birth to a lot of the dreams that I have. So when you calibrate, right, and you meditate on what you want to do, I'm a strong believer that it's going to come out, because basically all you're doing is sitting still and listening to the universe and listening to yourself and listening to the God in you, because God said he created every man according to his own image. But the noise, the distractions out there stops us from hearing. A lot of people are running around going, I want a husband, I want a husband. Oh my God, I want a girlfriend, I want a wife, I want this, I want that. But even if the guy or the woman comes in front of you, you wouldn't recognize the person because Distractions. Distractions. We fill up our day with so much junk that we don't get to hear the universe. My question to you today is, where do you want to be, all things being equal, 5 years from now? Write it down. Pick 5 things you want to happen in the next 5 years. Write it down. Then you break it down to, in 3 years, where do I want to be? And then you keep going down till you get to 3 months, because that's what I do with my life. In 3 months, where do I want to be? In 6 months, where do I want to be? What do I want to be doing? In 10 years, where do I want to be? Do I still want to be sitting here in my wig talking to you guys? No. But for now, it's fun, right? No, I don't want to be doing this 10 years from now. I'm 55. I'll be 65. I want to be sitting on an island somewhere, drinking a margarita for breakfast, or having, a mimosa or something like that, and then doing this if I feel like it. So, no, I don't get paid for this. So I'm having fun, and I'm going to keep doing this until the fun stops. But I know for a fact that I still want to be making jewelry. I still want to be making, accessories, and I'm really good at it. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So don't let money be your driving force. Let it be passion. What are you passionate about? I am passionate about helping people. So I sell houses. Most of my clients are low-income, first-time home buyers. I consult people from all over the United States, even sometimes the world, that want to buy houses. They call me and I give them advice about what's going on in the market. Then I link them up with people in their market to help them buy their homes. After I've helped them with whatever issues they have or what they think they need, or helping them to figure out how much they can afford and all that stuff. Solar Worldwide Realty is called that for a purpose. Solar Worldwide Realty. I sell houses all over the United States. Not directly, but that's what I do. It's my passion. I like to help people. It's great that I get paid for it, but I like to help people. My buyers don't pay me. The sellers always do. So, but I like to help people. What is it that you're passionate about? Me, even the handbags I'm making is because I look at a person and they motivate me to create a bag. Isn't that cool? It's like so awesome. So, and what you're asking me, how does it help people? 10% or 20%, whatever the organization is that we're donating the money to, that goes to that organization. My thing now is I want to live a purposeful life. What is your thing? What is your driving force to get up in the morning? Money has not been my driving force for so long because, honey, I was homeless at one point. So when this coronavirus came, I was thinking to myself, okay, where are we going to go with this now? Is this going to be like 2008 when the real estate market crashed? And it's really not. Real estate market is doing very well. It's not like 2008. And if the real estate market is doing well, I assure you, if you're able to reinvent yourself, if you're able to dig deep, dig way deep within you, and ask yourself, what is it that I want to do that gives me joy? Not make you money. Gives me joy, gives you joy. If you can find what it is that gives you joy, the money will always come. It will. Because I can't tell you, and look, let me rephrase that. You're not going to become Jackie Onassis overnight unless you're doing stupid stuff. That's going to get you in trouble anyways. But the money will come. See, there should be pride. Right now, there has to be pride in working. It doesn't matter if you're a bricklayer, a toilet cleaner, or a real estate broker, or a real estate agent, or flipping burgers at Guinea McDonald's. Nothing stays the same. Coronavirus taught us that too. Nothing stays the same if you're willing to do the work. Everything comes with a price. People talk about relationships. Oh my God, I want a fabulous relationship, honey. Before you get to the fabulous relationship, you will cry. You will hurt. You will hurt each other. All kinds of stuff you'll make up. If you have the courage to stand in truth and have truthful communication with all your ships, love ships, child ship, friendships, work ships, sky's the limit. Authenticity. So ask yourself, what is it? Where do I want to be? Number one for me is alive. Honestly, number one is, where do I want to be? I want to be alive. That's number one. So how do I stay alive? I stay alive by being wearing my mask when I go out. I stay alive by washing my hands as often as I can. I stay alive by social distancing when I go out, or else I stay home so I can stay alive. That's number one. Number two, in 10 years, I want to be somewhere on the beach, like I said, chilling with my wife, drinking margaritas, and doing what we want to do, not what we have to do. Because the beauty about doing what you have to do is so that when you get older, you can do what you want to do. But you got to stay alive to be able to do all of that. Does that make sense? You guys are quiet. Makes me sound like I feel like I'm talking to myself again. But anyways, truth, like I said, the truth is that it's impossible for us to hear the universe, right? If we don't stand still. And when I say stand still, for a chatterbox like me, it includes really sitting still. The universe is shouting, literally shouting, but a lot of us are not hearing. A lot of us are keep pointing fingers at everybody else. Oh, those people are bad. Those people are mean. Those people, when everything starts and stops with us. If I do something nice for somebody, maybe you'll trigger something in them, something nice in them, and they'll do something nice for somebody else, and it becomes a domino effect. And if I'm mean and rude to somebody on, let's even say social media that I don't know, if I'm just mean organically with no provocation, then they're going to be moody, they're going to have a nasty day, and it's going to affect other people as well. Just like the mask, folks. Just like the mask. Where do we go from here? Like I said when I started the show, we are not sending our son back to school this year. He's going to be working off of the computer because high risk asthma. I'm not playing. We're not doing that. And a lot of you, by all means, make the choices that work for you, but make sure that you're very well informed. Make sure that you understand the risk of your child going to school and bringing it home to you, and your child staying alive. Like I said, there's a story on CNN today about a man whose 21-year-old son went to a party and brought it home. And all 4 children are positive. The mother is positive. The father is on a ventilator. These are really hard times we're going through. But it's only hard because we're not showing love to each other and we're not allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. One of the things that Reverend Vicky taught me is to do everything with love. That's all she ever asked of me. And look, it's kind of hard, especially when you're dealing with Nigerians. It's very hard. But I'm going to promise to push myself to do most things with love, because I can't do everything with love. I'm Moji. And then Mujikwa comes out once in a while that I can't control. But I will try to do everything with love. And doing everything with love is being your brother's keeper, being your neighbor's keeper, making sure that everybody is okay, checking in on your elderly neighbors, please. If you know neighbors that are older, check on them, because they shouldn't be running the streets into grocery stores and things like that. It's so important that we know that without love in our midst, the universe is going to implode. I'm telling you, it already is. One of the reasons why Nigeria is the way it is because people have become so immune to pain, to suffering. They see it it's everywhere. So now people you could be dying on the street. They'll whip out the camera and start taking videos of you, and nobody will stand up for you. Yet we have 10 churches on every block. So if we flip religion from church to love, and we all treat each other with love and respect, well, majority of us, because we're not all going to treat each other with love and respect. You guys know that. But the bottom line is that if we do practice loving each other, if we do practice love and not hate or jealousy or animosity or any of that, we would all respect each other. We will be kind to each other. We will stay 6 feet apart. And we'll definitely wear our mask because tomorrow is not guaranteed. And anyone that catches coronavirus, you've got a 50-50 chance of surviving, honey. Because none of the doctors, with all the data that they have, that I have seen on social media and on, on Google and such, and on University of YouTube, nobody seems to know what this virus is doing or where it's going. We're just all kind of swinging with it and moving with it. But I know in my heart of hearts that eventually they will find a cure, or they'll find, a vaccine. Problem is that before they get there, the universe seems to be purging itself. So my prayer every day when I wake up is, may I not be on the road when the road is hungry. Wink, wink. May I not be on the road when the road is hungry. It's a Yoruba prayer, but I twisted it into English. I translated it into English, and hopefully the universe hears me. Because at the end of the day, but it's not just about praying, it's about me staying home. Really, it's about me staying home. It's about me washing my hands. It's about me putting on my mask when I go out, because I am responsible for my brothers and sisters out there that I don't know. So, I don't know. In conclusion, bottom line is that in conclusion, everybody should please wear a mask. Stay home if you can't, if you don't have anything major out there to do. Walk in love, and not hate. All this thing, discrimination against gay people by Nigerians and, whatnot. We're all God's children. I mean, when coronavirus came, he didn't care if you were gay, straight, or crooked. He just went booga, kept slapping people over the head. Oh, my heart is heavy, because a dear friend passed away on Friday. Actually, my eyes are swollen. It's like, maybe it's menopause too. I don't know. But I'll be doing something and I'll just start bawling because I'll remember something about Reverend Vicky. Or I'll be talking to my wife and she'll say, "Oh, and Reverend," and I'll just start crying all over again. It's been very hard. And I want you guys to know this thing is real. Reverend Vicky went in the hospital on Wednesday. Friday at 7 something, she was gone. So if you have compromised immune system, I ask you, please, in the name of God, stay home. Order your groceries in. Everything you need in the universe is at your fingertips on the phone. Go out only when you need to. Try and work at home. And if you're an essential worker, make sure you protect yourself with the right masks and such. The universe is speaking to us, guys. Really speaking to us. But are we listening? Can we hear it because we're so cluttered with stuff? Stuff. And half this stuff does not even concern us. You're so cluttered with stuff, you don't hear the universe. You don't. On Monday, was it Monday? On Friday, the week before, when we called, when we spoke to Reverend Vicky, I remember saying, "You don't sound good." And my wife is like, "Yeah, you should go to the doctors. Immediately, go to the doctors. Go to the doctors." But we never called to check back on her. Nothing. Is that really love? I'm not saying it's our fault. That's not what I'm saying. But there's still an ounce of guilt that goes along with it. Maybe if I had done the Mujikwa thing, which is call and say, "Hey, you gotta go. Let me talk to your wife. You gotta go." I don't know. I'm not God, so I don't know what could have happened or not happened. But if I don't come out here and speak to you guys about this, I'm not doing Reverend Vicky justice, because she will have been the one shouting, "Put on your mask, wash your hands, stay home," if she could be here today. The world is changing. Whew. The world is changing. The world is really changing. And we all have to change. We cannot stay the same. If you stay the same, you're not going to be in the loop with everybody that's going to grow when they come out of this. If you choose not to step out of your comfort zone during these times, Like get to know a gay person online or whatever. You know, get to know a gay person so you can be less homophobic. Get to know somebody that's different from you. Talk to white people. They don't bite. At least not most of them. They don't. Most of my friends are white people. You know, yeah, I grew up with white people all my life. I was literally raised by them, by white people. And a lot of them are really cool. Yes, sometimes they don't know a lot. So Black Lives Matter movement is important, but Black Lives Matter movement has to be important to us as well, you know? Anyways, honestly, I want you guys to please explore the choices of your children going to school. If your children or your child can stay home to learn, do it. Do it. He's still going to graduate the same day if he continues, if he does the right thing. He's going to the same. They all these kids, they stay in touch, they call themselves, they don't need us. You know, but our lives are in danger if you allow them to go to school and you have a compromised immune system, or they have compromised immune system, then they will die. There's nothing cool and heroic about dying a stupid death. I'm sorry. You know, your child going to school so you can save face, to me, it does not make sense. You need to really, honestly, do yourselves a favor and do your investigations and make sure that whatever the school tells you, you verify, you check it, you quadruple check, self, not double check. All right. Stay safe. Be kind. That's what Ellen has always says. Be kind to everybody you meet because you don't know what people are going through. So be kind to each other. That's something Ellen says. I never say that. I just pray for our tomorrow to be better than our today. But for that to happen, all of us really must do the work. We can't point our fingers at everybody. Oh, those people are bad. That one is bad. We're all bad. We all got issues. I mean, I'm not ashamed to say, hey, look, I had to unlearn a lot of things that I knew before so I could learn the truth. Because as Africans, they sugarcoat everything. This one died today, they'll tell you, oh, he's sick. He went to Kaduna. And then you'll find out when you're 14, 15, 17, 18 that your uncle so and so actually died. So I understand people want privacy and all that. I respect everybody's privacy. But I'm here to say being in the closet in any part of your life is not going to work. It just robs you of time. It robs you of energy. And I'm not talking about being in an LGBTQ closet. I'm talking about being in any kind of closet where you're lying and you're trying to cover it. And that it just robs you of your joy. And that's a God's honest truth. Please stay safe. Please stay safe. That's all I can ask of you. So that you can stay alive and we can eventually meet one day and talk to each other, have authentic conversations in front of each other. We can do this. The universe is really open to us. We can really do this. We really can do that. Shino says we owe ourselves, our younger ones and our generations unborn and education. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But education is not just in the classrooms. Education is everywhere. You educate every day, Shino, by the things you post on your social media. And it's up to the people to receive it if they're open. All we can do is to put the information out there. So yes, we owe ourselves, our younger ones and our generations, unborn and education. I totally agree with you. I really do. Not just education. We need to teach them integrity. We need to teach them morals. Problem is a lot of people's moral compasses are broken. So that's why we have to fix the parent first. At least that's the way, yeah. In the school I went to for training to become a certified life coach, where I got my certification to be a life coach, you have to literally reprogram the parent first, and then you can reprogram the children, because unfortunately in Nigeria there's more youth than there are elders. But even then, elders are still considered very valuable in our culture. They're all dying without passing the baton to us because we never gave them a chance in heaven to do that. I remember Saturdays they'll call, my granny will call me and say, "Hey, come and sit." And me, I'm thinking about going out at night, so I'm not really mentally there. I'll just not through the process. Today, if you ask me anything about a kitty, I don't know. And it shouldn't be that way. But yeah, education is priceless. Education can be acquired outside, on the job, wherever you are. If you're open, the messages will come to you. It will, it always does. The universe is, the portal to the universe is open right now. So make your request, talk to God as often as you can, eat right, do the right things, and watch your life fall into place. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. But sometimes some of us need our hands held. I'm one of those people to the other side because fear does sometimes cripples people. But aside of that, you can just be an example. Education is just me being an example of what my core values are, and sharing it with somebody. And in Facebook case, I'm sharing it with Facebook. Um, yeah. Anyways, Reverend Vicky, I thank you for being who you were in all our lives. I thank you for the joy and the wisdom that you bestowed upon us. I thank you so much for being around us. And I'm sorry you're gone. So for all of you guys that are still alive, do yourselves a favor. Do the best you can to stay alive. This is Mojisola Wilson. The show is Authentic Conversations with Moji, and it's on Moji's World. If you feel you heard something that you want to share with your friends, do me a favor, do not download my video. I'd rather you share the video to other people so that it records. So that it records how many views that I had and things like that. And if you happen to be on YouTube one day, or IG, go there and follow me on IG, Moji's World 1, and then go to YouTube, it's Mojisola Wilson, and follow me because I sometimes throw in different contexts on there. Thank you again for watching. 1 hour out of your life is a whole lot to be able to give to for you to give to me. So thank you for coming on the show. And I'll see you guys Friday. I'm hoping Shina Fagbero Byron comes on the Saturday show. Yeah? The Saturday show is going to be, I hope, is very explosive. It's a lot of information about moving forward from where we are in Nigeria. So I have 2 guests so far. I'm waiting for one confirm, and then yes, it's on. By the way, the t-shirts are for sale, Authentic Conversations. If you like to buy them, make sure you go into my inbox and let me know what size and whatever. I'll send you an invoice. Once you pay, I'll ship it out. It's free shipping all over the United States. And the t-shirts are authentic. It comes in white or it comes in black. Authentic Conversations t-shirts. The money from the t-shirts, majority of it goes to helping people. All right? And we're just going to keep rolling it around. So you do your part, buy a t-shirt, and, some of it will go to help others. That's what we do. That's our passion. We all have to create a wave of change in the universe, but we have to be vested in it and not just be an innocent bystander or somebody that just accidentally jams into it. Because if you're not calibrating, if you're not meditating, if you're not visualizing, if you're not doing all these things that's going to attract goodness to you, stop wasting your time. Just be your badass self. All right. Thank you for joining me again, and I'll talk to you guys later. See you Friday.